IGT, baby.
What's cracking, guys? Your boy Junior Mafia coming back to you with another video. So we gotta talk about Monday Night Raw, the Raw at the WrestleMania, and my God, did they deliver? They fucking delivered. After coming off a banger of a WrestleMania Night 2 that saved WrestleMania, in my opinion, they follow it up with a banger Monday Night Raw. Every segment on here was entertaining, and I enjoyed it a lot. You know, we had some NXT call-ups and Ethan Page. I'll probably say So Ruka as well, because she made an appearance, you know, when Liv Morgan was in the ring and they ended up having a match. So I'm pretty sure she's gonna have, you know, actually be on Monday Night Raw going forward. So, you know, we'll have to wait and see, because she has a last woman standing match against Zarya on NXT this Tuesday. But we also have Joe Hendry, who's going to be arriving next week. And also, yeah, it's a lot that's going down. But that was the cool part about it. But everything else afterwards is when shit started to pick up. We had some returns, you know, as well. But we'll dive more into that. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So we had Obafemi to start off Monday Night Raw. You hit everybody doing the Oba strut, chanting his name and all that. And this man is just on cloud 9. You know, he looking like $1 million and all that in a suit and all. So he gets into the ring. They didn't say anything. He just hit a crowd saying, oh, but for some time. And look, when he's about to say something, again, crowd gets loud and stuff. And what I love about this promo, he didn't have to say much. He kept it real simple and said, the ruler has arrived, and drops the mic. That right there was so fucking good. And it gave me shades of 2017 with Roman Reigns after he beat The Undertaker. And despite everything I have with Obafemi, Roman Reigns at that time frame got hit with a bunch of boos and a lot of crazy lines in there that I was there to hear all that stuff. And he left off and saying, this is my yard now, throws the mic and leaves out. And we like they could build something upon that. Now they dropped the ball with that, but in this case for Obafemi, I think they handled it the way how it's supposed to be, and they strapped the rocket onto him. So this only means his momentum is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. This is your literally the your crown jewel right here, your top guy right here. So I think they're gonna do right by him, and we're going to be seeing more Obafemi going forward and all. Then next, we got to talk about CM Punk. And he's arriving, and we haven't seen him since he lost to Roman Reigns. So he's walking to the arena, and it's dead silence. Music ain't even play up until he makes his way towards the ramp area and does the it's clobbering time. Then the music hits. So I'm thinking that's probably going to be how his entry is going to go going forward. We don't know. You know, only time I'm going to tell. But he gets into the ring, and he pretty much was talking about, you know, the people he lost recently that has been an integral part of his life. And was saying that with the loss that he had against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and on like it could have had made me down to the point where I would just go home and sobbing my own tears and all that stuff, and you know, chill my wife and all. But that's not the case. He said, you see, I'm still here, you know, I still got a smile on my face, and at the end of the day, even with that loss, I'm still the best in the world. And even brings up the fact that, you know, way before he became champion, he had stayed ready, you know, for any moment that an opportunity, a championship opportunity, will fall in the sky. It mentions about when Seth Rollins got hurt and all that, and the World Heavyweight Championship got vacated. You know how he was ready for that and became the #1 contender. Even before that, when he beat Gunther at SummerSlam to become World Heavyweight Champion, and Seth Rollins cashed in and beat him, he didn't sobbing his tears and all that. He stayed ready. Then he brings up when he became the #1 contender, when the title got vacated and he ended up winning it. He's saying that, yeah, I stay ready. So You know, if a championship opportunity falls in the sky, I'm ready. And out of nowhere, Cody Rhodes' music hits, which was shocking to see. And he comes out there, and when I tell you, his eye looked fucked up. I'm like, I know it was closed shut and everything. Like, it was a brutal look. So he's making his way in the ring, and interest he didn't care about that. He's just looking to get in the ring so he could talk to Punk. Punk looking at him like, yo, your eye look crazy. So Cody grabs the mic and he says, I'm shocked that you are feeling like this right now, especially after a loss. Like, I thought you would have been, you know, wilding out, crashing out, especially, you know, after this loss here. And Punk, like, let him know, like, listen, that's not my MO. Like, I'm good. He says, regardless of how everything turned out right now, that's not going to change who I am, so to speak. And I'm still going to be ahead of my game and be prepared to get another title opportunity. And it even brings up with Cody, you know, that, you know, I may not have a championship, but you still got yours. Like, you still need to hold it down and be champion and all that stuff. Like, you still got a job to do. And mentions the fact that if a title opportunity falls out the sky, I'm ready for it. And he leaves out. Cody Rhodes says, just say when. So they already hinting at the fact of we might get a match between those two. If that means CM Punk going to SmackDown and looking to challenge Cody for that title, we're bound to get that. And I feel like it is the right time to do so, especially, you know, with him losing the World Heavyweight Championship and seeing the direction they go with Roman Reigns. I wouldn't mind CM Punk going to SmackDown and building feuds there, because I think that will open up for SmackDown to get way better, especially from them being on the 3-hour mark and how much of a fucking snooze fest it is. Have somebody like CM Punk on that show, I'm here for it. Sign me up, because I know that's going to be a saving grace amongst other things as well. So I am looking forward to that. But that was dope to see, you know, that interaction there, and knowing that we're bound to get a match like that in due time. So I was excited for that. Then we had the segment, like I said, with Liv Morgan and all. She came with the Judgment Day, celebrating her win over Stephanie at Mania. And in the midst of all of that stuff, Sol Ruka comes out there, and, you know, I called out, like, Sol Ruka, she'll probably come out there if Becky Lynch is there, you know, especially how her celebrating with the Intercontinental Championship. And if she was to do like an open challenge, I'll say Sol Ruka would answer the call, goes in there and beats her and become new champion. That was my thought process, but one part of it was true, the other part wasn't, and that was she did make an appearance on Monday Night Raw. Only this time, she just went in there and was talking to Liv Morgan, was, you know, pretty much saluting her for winning the women's championship and saying that she's the greatest woman of all time, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, Liv Morgan, being the asshole she was saying, like, you know, I'm letting you, giving you a pass, you know, for interrupting me my championship celebration. And if you want to leave out of here in good condition, you would get the hell out of this ring and shit. So, of course, so, like, you know, I ain't gonna back down. This is a fight. Let's do it. So Adam Pearce comes out there, turns it into a fight, and that's what we end up getting and all that shit. So, we had that going on, and it was a good match as well. That they really delivered, both women. And of course, it came at the expense of Zarya coming in and attacking Sol Ruka and all that stuff. And when she did beat the 10 count, Liv Morgan was able to hit the Oblivion on her and cover up for the 1, 2, 3, and Liv Morgan to winning. So when Liv and Judgment Day about to get up out of there, that's when Stephanie Vakir music hits. And she comes out there, let it be known, like, this is far from over, and I'm definitely getting my rematch back for the Women's World Championship. So it looked like it's going to happen at Backlash, if anything, too. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing how the thing goes down. Then we get a tribute package for Brock Lesnar. You know, it felt like he did retire, you know, at WrestleMania 42 yesterday, you know, after being beaten by Obafemi and stuff like that. So the tribute package was fucking dope of his career. I'm not gonna lie, it was fire. They did that right. And after that was done, you see the Paul Heyman and the Vision come out, and Paul Heyman, he grabs the mic and was pretty much, I could say he kind of went off script a bit because he was a little emotional about it, and was saying that with the video production crew, with them having Brock Lesnar as now, but they should have been switching it to him forever and all. Paul Heyman crashed the fuck out and was saying that you need to replace him from the now situation to the forever part, and went on a rant to that, that's my beast, Brock Lesnar, all that stuff. So I thought that was a dope moment to see. I could tell he went on script with that a bit. Then he kind of got back on topic and was saying that, with the Vision, Logan Paul has something to say, but which I could really give a shit about. So he's on it ranting, seeing what he's saying and all. And Paul Heyman gets the mic back, and he was saying that, outside of this whole shenanigans, we did have somebody come back and was able to put a stop to Seth Rollins, and that was Braun Breaker. And he introduced him. Braun comes out there and stuff. He gets into the ring, grabs the mic, and he says, I came there and broke Seth Rollins in half, and that was the best feeling, ever. And let it be known, like, whenever he shows up, is on site, and also Seth Rollins' music hits. Now, he's not coming from the rent area. Mans pulls up from behind, hits Braun Breaker with a chair, and the way how he hit him, he ended up getting busted open, which we ended up seeing later on in a segment and shit. But the numbers game gonna play a part of this, and you see Austin Theory and Logan Paul attack him and all that, jumping him. And when we thought it was all done for Seth Rollins, the saxophone about to get louder, we get a returning Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. And Angelo Dawkins, he looking a little stocky too, so you can tell he dropped some weight. They go in there and even up the playing field, taking out Logan Paul and Austin Theory. And they start brawling outside the crowd area and stuff. So now it's cleared up. And now it's only Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Now, Braun Breaker, he's in a corner. Now he's busted open. He's looking to spear Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins hit a super kick on him. And as he successfully hits it and looking for a curb stomp, Braun Breaker was able to get out of that, spears him, and he lifts him up and was saying that, we didn't need you a year ago and all that. Like, I'm going to pretty much kick your ass and all, and you're irrelevant to us, so to speak. Like, I'm the leader of the Vision and shit like that. And then proceeds to run the ropes again and spears Seth Rollins once more. And I feel like this feud from them all is going to ramp up even better now that he's back. And I think this is going to probably go all the way into Clash of Italy. So we'll see how that turns out, but that was a very good segment as well. It's been nothing but fucking crash outs on Raw, so I was here for it and I was excited. Then we get a backstage segment with Jackie Redmond. She was talking to Gunther and asked him, like, how did you feel about your win over Seth Rollins? Saying, I felt great. I felt like I was the better wrestler than him and all. And I forgot Paul Heyman said he thanks Gunther for taking out Seth and was saying that, he still owes him a favor and all. So you see Gunther, he rebuttals that and was saying that, yeah, like, Paul Heyman still owes me that favor and all, and this doesn't mean I'm aligning myself with the Vision or anything. So yeah, Jack Redmond asked him, well, what's that favor about? So right when I think he was about to explain something about it, LA Knight comes into the picture and was like, no, Gunther was talking about he looking to go after the World Heavyweight Championship. Then LA Knight comes in there and he was saying that, well, I ended up getting my win as well at WrestleMania, and said with the odds for me, like, he started doing some mathematical shit that was throwing me off, and it confused the fuck out of Gunther. But to make the long story short, he also wants a title opportunity as well. So it looks like they all gonna be chasing gold, leading up to whenever that time, it comes and shit. So we should see how that whole thing goes down. And then we also get a backstage segment with Io and Rhea Ripley, who had a match earlier against the Kabuki Warriors and won it. So they embracing each other and all, knowing that Rhea has the women's championship and now she's officially going to be on SmackDown, and just tell Io to pretty much hold it down here and you go get yourself a championship, all of that stuff. So as they part ways and Rhea's walking off, you see Liv Morgan in the background, and it dawned on Rhea. She turned around, and you could kind of see like I'm gonna see you real soon and all that. So they kind of hinted on them potentially having a match. I probably would say that will happen right around Clash of Italy or something like that, with the champion versus champion match. So we're about to get something in that nature. So honestly, I'm here for it. I know they're going to kill it. And last, to close out the night, we had the new World Heavyweight Champion, the OTC, Roman Reigns, coming out there, and he's from the car, walking all the way to a gorilla position, and you hear the crowd going, Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. So as he get there, before he goes to the curtains, you see the Usos right there. And he said, you know what? Yeah, let me bring them with me and all that stuff. So they come out with him to the ring, and he all farming and all that stuff. So he gets in there, and he's telling Las Vegas to acknowledge me. Now he's saying, I was going to keep this short and simple and all. I was just talking about my win at WrestleMania, got gold around my shoulders and all that stuff, and all that. But he said, nah, this is doing, I'm thinking different now. I'm thinking about, the future and everything at this moment here. Then even mentions about the Usos, about how he wants them a part of him and not just off of, I'm forcing you into this. I want you to be like my business partners here. Like he missed having them on the road, missed that old feeling they had, when the bloodline, ran shit for 4 years straight. He missed that type thing. And he even bring up about, with Jay and him arguing with Cameron, if from the clip that he did when he was on the It Is What It Is podcast, and Cameron was like talking his shit and all that stuff. Jay got fed up and literally dragged Cameron and hit him and shit. So it was hilarious. So you see Roman kind of like telling him, like, you sitting here and arguing with a 1990 rapper and all that stuff who's irrelevant. So he's literally like talking down on Cameron, which was the funniest shit ever. But brings up that when we're separated, we're not the same. Like, we don't feel strong. And says, but when we are like as one, we're dominating. Can't nobody fuck with us, and we'll run shit like we always do. So he asked him to be his business partner and let's run shit again. So we kind of getting shades of the old bloodline and all that stuff. So Jimmy, he was all game with it, and he said they the twos and we the ones. So he went and put the one up and stuff. So he's acknowledging Roman. Then he go Jay doing the same as well. So we thinking it's going to end off right there. Oh no. Out of nowhere we hear Jacob Fatu music hits. And that shocked me, because I did say when Jacob had beaten Drew McIntyre, I'm like, this is the he needs to win just to get that momentum right there and start chasing gold now. I'm like, whether that's for the United States Championship, WWE Championship, don't matter. Like, he needs to start, getting title opportunities. I didn't know it would come at the expense of him showing up to Monday Night Raw and approaching Roman Reigns. So he comes there now. He gets into the ring, and Roman says, it's been a minute since we was in the same ring with each other. And he said, it's better be a good reason why you're here, like, to acknowledge me. So Jacob Fatu says, I'm not here to acknowledge you. Then Roman says, so what, you want this World Heavyweight Championship? What are you saying? He said, nah, I don't want it. I need it. And we're saying that I'm not here to try to be tribal chief. I'm out here to get the privileges the tribal chief has as champion. You know, between the private jets, the cars, putting his kids to school, all of those things. He said all of those, you know, those benefits that come with being world heavyweight champion. I need that, and we're saying that I will beat you to get that at Backlash. So Roman Reigns saying like, do you even feel like you're ready for this? Like having this world championship, you know, it keeps you at the high of highs. Like you're on top of the mountain, and it comes with responsibilities. And can you handle that? Because he was saying that, let's say if you did beat me, you know, will you be able to handle being champion and everything that comes with it? You know, like this ain't a walk in the park, you know. So says that, and he says, but if you don't beat me, you will still have to come here and acknowledge me. So he's telling him, he said, I'm not going to give you a yes, and I'm not saying no. He's, I'm going to give you a week, because I need to know if you're ready. And then walked off. Now, in my opinion, this was so fucking good, because you see Jacob cut right to the chase. He didn't try to sugarcoat anything or give like some big explanation. Now he got right down to the point and was saying that I'm here to challenge you for the championship. And I forgot to even mention this too. He was saying that, yeah, I'll give you a week to figure it out, and we'll know if you're ready, little cousin. And walk off. So he seemed like he's some little nigga, so to speak. And you know that shit don't sit well with Jacob. He even looking at the Usos, and you know, I had that little weird look like, this is what we doing now type shit. So that was crazy to see. And as they leave out the ring, you hear Roman telling Jimmy, I believe, he says, you need to go talk to your little cousin and get him in line. And he was saying that, yeah, I will. And then that's when the show cuts off. But my opinion, this was so fucking good. I enjoyed it from start to finish, man. And this is how Monday Night Raw at the WrestleMania needs to be. I gave it a 10 out of 10. I was definitely entertained for what it was, and I can't wait for next week how things turns out more now, because we're all going to see them again on Monday Night Raw. Roman made it crystal clear that he's done with the part-time shit, and he's going to be here on a full-time schedule all the way into the summer and all that, and I am here for it. This right here is what makes things fucking good. And we'll see how things turns out. But comment down below. Let me know, what was your favorite part of Monday Night Raw? Are you excited for how things are going moving forward? And, you know, definitely see how these feuds and storylines cooking up and shit like that. But I definitely want to know in the comments down below. But I appreciate your love and support. Road to 250 subscribers. Continue to keep God first. Trust the process on anything that you do at life. Your time will come. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next video. Peace.